Hey y'all, hey, Lacey here. So I have been reading in the book of Daniel since January because I'm studying the book of Daniel. Now, mind you, Daniel has always been my favorite book of the Bible because I love reading about how God delivered Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael out of the fiery furnace. I refuse to call them Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego because that was not their names. And I also love reading about Daniel being delivered from the lion's den. But that's not the point of this video. So, I had just been taking my time going through the book of Daniel, and I was reading in chapter 5 this morning, and how King Belshazzar, which was Nebuchadnezzar's son, took over the kingdom, of course, after Nebuchadnezzar died. But anyway, how he took the golden and silver vessels that Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple in Jerusalem and brought to Babylon. And so it basically was like a mockery of God, because he decided that they were going to drink out of these vessels. And just not that, to add more insult to injury, they began to praise the gods, lowercase g, of gold, silver, iron, and stone. And so if you read chapter 5, you know that at that time it was a hand that began to write on the wall, and the king's countenance changed. And so that's when he called in the astrologers and the Chaldeans and the soothsayers in to interpret the writing that was on the wall, but nobody could interpret it. And the queen was sent for, and she came in and reminded him of Daniel, that was basically his dad's wise counsel when he was alive. So Daniel came in and interpreted the writing on the wall, of course, and told him what was about to happen, which the kingdom was about to be taken away from him, and his reign was coming to an end because he had defiled the vessels from the temple of the house of God. So, okay, as I was reading that, I was just sitting there, talking to the Holy Spirit, and I was like, it's just clear to me that the Babylonians, it's not just them, were obsessed with images and idol worship. And see, oftentimes today we think we're not participating in idol worship because we're not physically bowing down to a molten idol. But anything we put before God and exalt above Him is an idol. And a lot of times, thank you, Holy Spirit, we have made our image an idol, because you got so many people out here that is trying to keep up an image before others, to where they have become obsessed with the facade that they have created to appease other people, when that's not who they really and truly are. It just got me thinking about that. It's a facade, it's an illusion. It is straight delusional to do that. So instead of pretending to be something you're not, allow God to show you who He created you to be. He said in Genesis 1:26, let us create man in our image, in our likeness. He's already given you an image. You are a reflection of Him. And that's the greatest image that you could ever display or take on. It takes me further into the New Testament when Jesus said, if any man wants to follow me, he has to deny himself and take up his cross. So when you are denying yourself, you are denying the image that you have created, and you taking on the image of Christ, and that is what you are walking in. So any type of image you're seeking outside of God is a counterfeit. So this morning I would encourage you to examine yourselves, to make sure you're not an imposter, walking in the image of pride instead of God's humility. I mean, Nebuchadnezzar learned this lesson, in chapter 4. It talks about how, we can even back up to chapter 2, when Daniel interpreted a dream to where God allowed him to recall Nebuchadnezzar's dream. left his mind, his memory, he not only recalled the dream, he told him the interpretation of the dream. And he told him that he saw an image with a head of gold. King Nebuchadnezzar was the head of gold, but we know it was 4 kingdoms that the image represented. Instead of him taking it on in chapter 3, he decided to build a what? Image of gold that he required everybody to bow down and worship. So he was full of pride. And we know by chapter 4, the Lord had given him another dream to let him know, basically, I am about to cut you down. I'm not going to take your kingdom away from you, but I'm going to cut you down until you realize that I, the Most High God is over the kingdom of men, and I give it to whoever I will. So essentially, they drove Nebuchadnezzar out of the kingdom, and he had to go into the beasts of the field, in the field where the beasts were, and he had to eat grass like a beast for 7 years. 7 years. He was given a heart of beast for 7 years. And then after the completion of that time, which 7 is the number of completion, God allowed his memory to come back to where he was able to exalt the Most High God. So, don't let pride be your downfall. Stop trying to create an image to please others and walk in the image that God has already set before you. That's something to think about.